Hey guys, Zar here. Hope all is well. Trust you're having a good day so far. It is Hump Day, Wednesday, August the 21st. Coming into the open here in New York. We have about a minute and a half to go. Thought I would just show you the three sisters here, of course. The 1 minute chart with volume weighted average price in the middle and 2.5 standard deviations. They are very much aligned this morning, as you can see. We do have news at 10 a.m. So I may not do anything until that news plays out. We'll see how things open here, but it's very likely I'm going to wait until 10 a.m. Let's take a look at the daily frame. These are the three sisters again, NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow, but daily charts. And as you can see, we have now pulled back against that 17% drawdown into kind of this area right here where we had prior resistance. We actually surpassed that over the last two sessions, and now we're sitting in this zone, this range that you see here, something very similar here on the S&P, and almost about to tag and tap this former rejection zone here on the Dow. I'll bring you back to the three sisters. We'll watch this thing open. We'll get that 1 minute open range all set for the day, and then it will move out to the right as candles are printed throughout the day. Going to be very patient here this morning, guys, especially given what I see here on the power grid. This is the daily 30-minute chart at the top of this range here from the UK session so far. Of course, we're not done with the UK session, and the Asian session right here. So we're stuck in this range. I'm going to squeeze in here so you can see it. This kind of a narrow range versus the big price action that we saw back on Monday. Big up day. Yesterday was kind of a consolidation day to be expected after that big up day, and so far consolidation here overnight and through the European and the Asian sessions. We are open now on New York. You can see that first candle printing right there. Bringing you back to the three sisters, driving down on the NASDAQ, flat on the S&P, and kind of neutral on the Dow as well. We'll let this play out for a while, guys. I will cut out dead air, sideways grinding action, non-teaching moments, and keep this video nice and tight on the things that really matter. For now, I'll put you on pause. I'll bring you back in a few minutes. Watching all three drive down now, but still inside of the open range, and all three of them, in fact, and just above VWAP, volume weighted average price. I call this no man's land. Whether we are between VWAP and the open range or inside the open range and VWAP, it's kind of like nothing going on. You can also see how the EMAs are tightly wound and prices are simply vacillating or oscillating around the tightly wound EMAs. That's the definition of range boundedness for now. Coming back here, guys, I'm going to wait for this thing to settle a bit. I'm going to drop down to the 30-second chart here for some more surgical precision. Not doing anything, not going to jump on anything here, guys. Just going to watch this for a while. We have an inside day here on the daily chart. See that there? Let's go back to the daily three sisters. Inside day on the NASDAQ, inside day on the S&P, and for now, inside day pushing up on the Dow. Back to the power grid. Not touching this, guys. Just gonna wait. Just watching. Just gonna wait for this to play out, guys. We have a mixed bag here above VWAP and stuck in open range here on the S&P, back into open range on the Dow and the NASDAQ for that matter. So not much going on here. Indecisive picture. Now watching the power grid. This big 30-minute candle here broke 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles, 7 candles, but did not continue down here inside day with a bullish body, right? So this candle initially, even now, fighting the bullish body on the inside daily overruling. Getting a little bit interested in shorts here, guys, given what I'm seeing here, the trail being blazed. I would need to see a break at the session low, I think. This is just a marker. This is not an order. Flipping down, just trying to flip, but nothing really convincing. So very sloppy and indecisive morning here, guys. Nothing to do. Pushing up. up now on all three. entry for me. There's range bound action, tightly wound EMAs, vacillating or oscillating. Back to the trading grid. Very much a range bound daily inside. An inside day by definition is a range bound day. I'm not touching this, guys, going into the pre-market highs 1, 2, and 3 here in the zone you see here on the 30-minute chart. Might be tempting for some to jump on board right here, but I'm not going to. All right, guys, firming up here a little bit on all three. I want to see if we can maintain that buying before taking advantage of anything here, or can even considering an entry. Watching this dance play out. Here's an example of price action where we broke below open range, broke above open range, stole a tug of war here. That's on the NASDAQ, whereas the S&P stayed within the open range, broke above briefly here on this attempt. All three of them did, in fact. So that starts to look marginally bullish. But with this kind of price action here, these zones 1, 2, 3, very important one, 4 actually from the New York session yesterday. I'm going to be very, very patient here. Now, if we had a up day on the daily, that would be a different story, but we don't. Just watching. Constantly reminding myself that this is a range-bound day so far. It is an inside day. It doesn't mean I can't trade, but I need to see some compelling price action on the 30-minute chart first, and then the 1-minute chart in this case. Now, this opening candle, by the way, is fairly compelling, right? We drove down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candle break, but then quickly snap back up. But this is telling us that there's a fairly relatively wide range of thinking going on with these tug-of-war participants. But it's all within the context of this range-bounded daily, right? So it's a bit of a mixed picture. All right. Three sisters driving down now, all three. Fairly congruent price action now, guys. You see that rally, 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 sell off, sell off, sell off. And so there's some alignment here in what participants are doing with U.S. stocks across the board. Doesn't matter if they're tech related, if they're big blue chips of the S&P, or if they're the industrial stocks of the Dow. The same sort of thing is happening on all three, and that's interesting. All right, guys, pushing up now on all three. Let's go over to the power grid and take a look. I may have missed a good entry here. Right here. So let's see if we get a pullback. If we do, I will take this, guys. Right here, guys, this is a buy order right here at the market. So a limit order. We just get the pullback to right there and in, guys. I am long the NASDAQ looking for 1R. Felt like I missed it. Now that I got it, I'm almost doubting it, and I'll tell you why. Very often, if you see what you think is a good opportunity that you missed, and then the market lets you in, it's often a sign that things have turned. And this may be the case here, guys. I may be taking a 1-hour charge on this just based on what I'm seeing playing out here right now. So we have a daily bullish body, but inside day, permissible to both longs and shorts depending on what's happening in the lower time frames. For the first time here in the New York session, we've broken above 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and many other candles, of course. This is actually a very significant breakout, as you can see, but if we reject down immediately, then all of a sudden this is looking awfully weak. And so this may be, in fact, a charge to start the day. We'll see. All right, guys, we have news in 2.5 minutes. I'm going to move my stop to break even to protect this. It is red folder news, but not the typical FOMC news, but it's non-farm payroll revisions, not the same as NFP. That typically explodes the market, but I am now at break even on this. 3 seconds. News is out. No major reaction, and there it is, guys. Thankfully went my way, hit target before hitting break even. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Looks like we may go significantly higher now. Who knows? Have an amazing day. Talk to you soon.